My name is Stacey, and I used to work for the London Housing Registry under the JCP contract. I originally found out about the London Housing Registry through a job advertisement. At that point in time, I had lost my current job and was looking for something that was more related to the education that I had taken. I actually built quite a few of my skill set increased dramatically working here. I got to work with different clients that came in. It taught me to read people like on a face-to-face value. I was able to go to different shelters and see the different types of homelessness that existed. People that you might see out on the street, I'm talking about people that are stuck in shelters or families that have lost their jobs, their homes. They're now like in shelters trying to get back on their feet. You don't necessarily think of people like that as being people would come in that were on the street that refused to go into shelters. I know some of them would say the shelters weren't safe for them, so you'd see a few people actually across the street from us that were you'd consider chronically homeless. I guess they were never in shelters, never in like people that had lost their jobs, right? So it could be anyone out on the street due to the fact that job losses here in London. Like I said, the people at the shelter, a lot of them they lost their job, then they therefore lost their home. Some had kids, some did. YOU, for instance, is filled with young people that they reach a certain age that their parents don't let them live with them anymore. So now we would set them up with specific landlords that suited, like the apartments that they had available suited what these people were specifically looking for. We took into consideration, their income, where in London they wanted to live. If they were willing to live with other people, if it was more specifically like younger or older, or people that came in, they weren't comfortable making the phone calls to the landlords themselves. They needed to build that confidence, and we were there to kind of help bridge that gap for them. So we would set up appointments for these clients that came in with the landlords. Every Wednesday we would call the clients that had come in and follow up with them to find out if they went to the appointment, if they've applied to a unit, if they've gotten in somewhere, right? Or if they're still looking and they need our few. Some of the workshops that we did included like informing a lot of these people at different shelters, like educating them on their rights and responsibilities. We would ask them questions. We would get them to tell us if they had any questions with regards to what barriers they were coming across. So for instance, if the pet issue, or if they didn't have enough money, or if they were on OW or ODSP, some of those barriers would hit them as well, or their education, their age, different things like that, right? That they would come. That I had come in here, he was an older gentleman. He had owned a bunch of different buildings at one point in time. He had a house for himself, he had bought houses for his kids, and then he ended up, like the company he worked for, they closed down. So he ended up losing the house that he currently had. He was in such a crisis, because his bank foreclosed on him. He came in here looking for housing immediately. He was very distraught, and working here, actually, we've been taught to kind of deal with people like that and to work with them, calm them down, help them find something that suits them, and helps them to have some kind of hope and look. Today I'm working for a property management company here in London, actually kind of on the other side of things, renting the units to the clients that Shelley was saying. I found while working with the Housing Registry that the majority of our volunteers are actually university graduates themselves who can't find jobs here in London, who are trying to get some skills built up, because a lot of the jobs that they're applying to, they don't have the experience, they don't have the skills to work with the computers, so this is a great opportunity for them to build upon those skills.